an expert in e-commerce and digital transformation with around 90 years of experience in the service industry. He has an experience in emerging technology and trends, including data science, ML, RPA, AI, blockchain, IoT, cloud computing, agile, DevOps, and infra transformation. He has a vast experience working with clients of diverse industries like oil and gas, utilities, automotive, pharmaceutical, construction, ceramics, manufacturing, and the retail and the CPG around the globe. He is highly capable in developing new businesses, business strategies, strengthening existing client and customer relationship, client-facing businesses, lead farming business acquisition, partnering with global SIs and Fortune 500 company. We are happy to have you here, sir. The stage is all yours.
Thank you, Ravi, and thanks everyone. And I am Ranchi, and thanks to Ravi again to this invitation for this. So let me share my screen. Just give me a sec. You can see my screen, right, Ravi? My screen is visible?
Not yet. Not yet, sir. We can't.
Is visible now?
No, sir. Yes, sir. It's visible now.
Visible?
Yes, sir.
All right. So very good evening, everyone. My name is Rohit Sanyal, and thanks for the kind introduction, Ravi. And good evening to all the people who have joined. So let me introduce myself first. I'm Rohit. I look after the entire global sales function on e-commerce at Xula right now. With Xula almost 4 years, and we are an e-commerce company. I've been into an IT and e-commerce industry almost 18, 19 years. Before that, I was with multiple roles, was associated with SAP and all. In fact, I work with global retail companies in UK, Europe, in fact, and Middle East. Right. So thanks for giving this opportunity. And today's topic is that, disruption in retail through digital transformation. Right. It's a very interesting topic, and so let me give you the index here. So we'll start with the introduction about the retail industry, digital transformation in retail. The second topics is the challenges, and again the digital trends and the technology and the use cases and the future also, right? So let me start with the digital transformation in the retail industry. This is a very important slide, and the people who are here in this audience, because you need to understand what is digital transformation. Right, because what has changed because of the COVID and all, it's the new normal, and mostly the big retailers, even the mid-sized retailers also, they are actually planning to, in fact, they are actually moving towards to the technology segment, because if they not adapt this, it is end of the day, it's a business loss, right? So I've seen the companies, in fact, in Middle East and again in Southeast Asia. This is the emerging markets I'm talking about. Before COVID and after COVID, there is a huge transition is there. So companies who have already adapted, especially the large retailers, in fact, before COVID would have adapted this, the digital transformation part. So they didn't face the challenges, but the companies who have not adapted, they are actually facing a lot of challenges. Now the question is what exactly this digital transformation covers. You can see that the marketing, sales, and the fulfillment and the consumption, right? So under digital transformation, when it comes to the retail, marketing, sales, and fulfillment, and this is the primary points. Then again, the boundaries between traditional retail and the e-commerce have blurred actually, because in golden days before COVID, like people used to go, retail stores and everything. Like now, everything has changed. Like and mostly people are spend time in online shopping as well. So this is a new trend actually. Like and again, the creating a seamless experience across channel is a top priority for the retailers. Like so the the point is that they especially the retailers, they want to give a customer experience, like to give a nice experience, and they want to open all the channels, like so that like customers should come to the stores and all. So again, there are a lot of experiences which they are with the help of technology they are adapting actually. Hence, a digital strategy should include all the aspects of the retail business to be a successful. Because the question is whether digital transformation is required in retail segment. Answer is yes. Why? Because if they're not, then it will be a direct impact to their business. So the companies who are not adapted, they are facing a challenges. And I've seen companies in Middle East and again Southeast Asia and in South Africa as well. So the major challenges in the transformation of the retail industry, see, it's very easy to talk about transformation. We all it's a buzzword. We all talk about digital transformation. We all talk about transformation. The biggest challenge in doing this transformation and all, again, it's not so easy process. It's a complex process, right? Now the complex means there are a lot of operational challenges are there for any large retailers. Maybe you can name anyone. Companies like Home Depot in US, it's a home improvement segment. Company like Wayfair in US, it's again home improvement segment. When they started this this digital transformation long back itself, but when it comes to the Middle East, and there are companies, the retailers, they actually adapted very recently. But the biggest problem what they faced, that is again the right skills. That is, you can see that in this. The key challenges are the availability of the talented staff. This is one thing. Then again, upfront cost. So typically, what happens when you go for any implementation, large implementation, right? Because let's say if you go for any data lake implementation or AR/VR implementation. So any implementation, if you go for that, obviously there is a advance. It's a project mode. Typically, service company asks for a project mode. Then again, the engagement model, typically it's a project mode where you have to pay the advance. So this is again one area. Operational challenges are there. Right now, because of the COVID, again, as I said, world has changed and.
Hello. Sir, you are the mute. Hello.
I think.
Yes, sir. You are mute. Right. Last 2 or 3 minutes.
All right. Am I audible, Ravi?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Right. All right. So I was talking about like the complex part, like while doing this transformation, like so as I said, like talented staff, then again upfront cost and all these things, which is operational related challenges, right? So while doing this transformation, obviously these are all the challenges typically any retail companies, large retail company they face. And one of the biggest important point is that that is a security and privacy concern. So this is also its major impacting on us. So the whole idea is that it's not so easy. Like when we talk about the transformation, there are a lot of operational risk and challenges are also involved. Right. So you can see this trend, like digital challenges and all. You can see this, like now, moving to the key global digital trends, like so mostly, people are here. And I'm sure you do a lot of online, and again, even you use your mobile phone for while shopping. I think the mobile apps are become central to the strategy actually, because most of the large retailers, like if you call Shopper Stop and all, they have their own mobile app, right? So obviously, it is more about the customer engagement, right? So then again, mobile payments, like when I don't know how many people uh, get a chance to go to Decathlon retail store. So you will see that, like there is a kiosk is there, like you can always in order to stand on queue, you can do the payments online as well. Like, so this is again evolution is there. Social media and content being used to the influence behavior, like this is one of the important point, like you can see that. And again, stores are central to the digital transformation. Then local and hyper local strategies are become good. So this local and hyper local is basically is for the grocery segment, like because nowadays I'm sure you heard about GeoMart, right? So they are also actually focusing on this particular strategy. This is like within a 10-kilometer radius, like whatever you want, because people is actually looking for faster delivery, right? Right, seamless experience, like fulfillment. I mean, whatever they want in a 10 minutes, 15 minutes delivery has to be there. So this hyper local strategy, especially in the grocery segment, GeoMart is also is one of the, I mean, I can say, like they are already adapted and they are getting a nice results. Then again, adoption of VR and AR, that is virtual reality and augmented reality. These are all the buzzwords, like but companies like Walmart in US, companies like Target and all, they're already adapted all these things. Like because in order to go to store, you have a device, and with the device, like you will feel the you're actually in store, right? So this is like in the next 10 years, you will see that mostly all the big retailers they will start adopting this. Like, so virtual reality, augmented reality is the future, and there is I mean in the next 10 year I personally see that, like there is a huge growth in the technology segment, especially who are pursuing technology, right? And they want to uh, you know move forward on this, like so this is a huge uh, opportunity. I can see that. Then again, IoT technology is basically for again the large retailers, and especially for the warehouse part, like, right? And this companies like as I said, Walmart, Target, then they already started using even in the Middle East, Southeast Asia. Also, there are a couple of retailers they are already started using. The Kavalnama, there is a company, it's an industrial supplier. So they also had this IoT technologies, like so it's mainly good for the warehouse part, like again data central to the personalization competitive advantage, because this is more about the data part. And a very interesting point here, like uh, typically retailers they uh, they have their golden records, like from the ERP system, and from this they can easily identify the buying pattern, shopping pattern, right? Customer behavior, right? Customer intent, all those things, like they can easily gather those information, and based on that, they normally connect because there are a lot of ways nowadays via WhatsApp. I'm sure nowadays you've seen, when during COVID, when retail store was shut down, so uh, they normally ping you on WhatsApp, hey, we have opened up a store, why not you check our new products and also. So this is what this is a gift of technology, again, with the help of personalization, they doing this. So these are all the key global digital trends which I'm talking about, and in that the major one is, as I said, the IoT part is there. Then again, retail analytics, obviously in the next slide you will see that. Technology that helps in the digital transformation, around more than 200 plus emerging technologies are there across the world globally. But it's very difficult for any retailers to adapt all 200. It's very difficult. So this 8 essential, which you can see, that artificial intelligence, augmented reality, blockchain, drones, Internet of Things, right? Robotics, then virtual reality, and again 3D printing. Out of this, the large retailers I'm talking about, because mid-size and large, there are two things. One is, the mid-size companies, they are actually moving to the digital transformation part, and the large retailers already adapted. Now the question is, what is large? So large means the companies, the revenue size is more than $10 billion, right? It starts with $5 billion to $10 billion plus people. There's a large, they're matured retailers, right? They already adapted, right? And I'm talking about the developed countries, that is US and Europe. Now emerging countries, the entire Asia Pacific. So this here the struggle is, right? And now these companies, they understood that without having the technology part, it is very difficult to get the revenue up, right? So obviously there are multiple factors. Again, as I said, artificial intelligence is there, augmented reality, but it's not so easy, right? It comes with a cost, right? And artificial intelligence, if someone wants to do that, it will obviously, it's a huge cost, right? Augmented reality is a huge cost, so you should have that. I mean, a company should have that kind of balance, they can afford that, right? So this is also important, and as I said, it's very easy to talk about transformation, but the operational challenges are there, and obviously the company should have that risk tolerance capacity, right? So PwC, as you see that, they said more than 250 emerging technologies are there, but obviously the 8s are essential, which is actually good. If someone at least adapt 1 or 2, it is good for them, right? So the few use cases I just want to talk about, and I want to spend time here in this. This is a very important slide in the next 1 or 2 slides. See, the retail analytics. This is the future, and in fact, mostly all the retail companies just started doing it. Whether it is India, whether it is Middle East, whether it is Southeast Asia, right? All emerging countries I'm talking. You can see that, artificial intelligence and the machine learning with the help of data science, right? Here, you will see the found use cases, the retail value chain. Retail value chain, to map this, that is including customer sentiment analysis, customer retention, purchase intent, inventory prediction, supply chain optimization, and product. So see, during this COVID time, this supply chain optimization, supply chain operation is the key point. I mean, mostly all the service companies, they are already started doing it, to work on the supply chain of optimization part. It's a big topic, right? Now obviously with the help of analytics, especially the retail analytics, with the help of data, right? In the previous slide I was talked about, you can always use the customer data and do the understand the the buying pattern, shopping pattern, right? You will understand also, like, sentiments. Okay, they're how to retain your old clients. I mean, old users, like, right. And there are various ways. It's all about to enhance the customer experience with the help of, there are multiple ways, like, WhatsApp integration is there, right. Even there is a retailer, jewelry retailer, it's a Aura Jewelers, like, it's Mumbai based. They have a very unique style to retain their and to engage their existing clients. I mean, multiple ways, like, they're doing. They knows customers' anniversary, birthdays, right? And in fact, like, time to time, they uh, you know feel them, like, you are the best one. Again, the loyalty part, those things, like, they are using it, right? So if any retail company, they follow this process, like, especially to understand the customer buying patterns, how to retain, how to make them happy. Then again, the loyalty part, right? So end of the day, like, you will see that the retail company will actually see the growth. It's not necessary that you have to adapt all these things. Again, for that, you should have a proper maturity level. So retail analytics, again, it's a very important topic, right? Then again, customer engagement, like social media channel, chatbot, video content, again, AR, VR application, gamification, mobile devices. So I'm sure, like, most of the time when you go to the, any big retail stores, like, you have seen that they are using, product catalog, that is in-store application. So let's say if you go to any big large jeweler store, right? You will see the product catalog over there. So let's say if you want to order anything, like, so you can also order online over there itself. So it's evolution. So I mean, end of the day, like, you want to engage with your customer via, because you're not required to put one customer care person. So let's say, like, a chatbot will also help you, right? Then again, social media channel also, which is also influencing all these things. So customer engagement, how to engage your existing and your new customer with the multiple ways, right? So this is about the customer engagement part. Then again, omni-channel retail, this is a very important point. Omni-channel retail, again, is like, uh, Target got, I mean, if you look at Target, then Walmart, this companies, like, they are already adapted this omni-channel. Again, it's a large size retail company, they have already adapted this thing, like. So under omni-channel, you can see that buy online, pick up at store, right? So now let's say you just want to order something, you can do it on online, you can go to the store, you can pick it up, right? Virtual try-ons. I don't know how many people use. I mean, maybe if you get a chance, you just open up a Kalyan Jewelers site, right? So if you want, next time when you go to buy a jewelry, you don't want to go to visit their store. You can also do the virtual try-on. So it's a mirror technology, right? So especially the jewelry segments, they are already started this. In fact, I have seen the companies in Europe as well, like, they also started the shoes segment. So virtual try-ons is also started. Then exchange everywhere services, like, a ship from store model. So let's say, again, it's a very classical example. Like, let's say if you go to uh, jewelry store, that is Joy Lucas, right? And you purchase some item from Ranchi store, right? And let's say you get a job in Mumbai, and you want to return that, right? Or maybe you want to exchange, right? Everything has been centralized, right? So you can always do the exchange to the Mumbai Joy Lucas store, right? So this kind of evolution was not there in the past 10 years. Like, so this has all happened in the last 4 5 years, and thanks to COVID. In other way, like, because of this, people also get mature. Mostly 90% users in India, even in the Asia Pacific, also, like, they use mobile phone numbers. So obviously, digital is powering new retailing models. So that is absolutely true. Now focus on experience. Like when I was talking about the customer experience and all. Retail will focus on the driving experience with the transaction as an outcome of how customer rate the experience with the retailer. See, when you go next time to a Decathlon store, like you will see even other store also, like the large retail store. Like so, Decathlon is an example I'm giving. So next time when you go, just observe, like at the cash counter, like you will see there is a one more setup is there, and they will ask you, like how was your experience, good, bad, ugly. You need to click, right? It's the mandate, like so no matter what, like whatever you're typing. So end of the day, somewhere, some part, there is a backend team is also working behind this, right? Because they are actually capturing your data, and they are seeing, like your buying patterns, like and experience also. So retail industry, they are actually focusing this all things, like if you go to Sketcher as a shoe company, like they also started this thing, because this buying experience, shopping experience, in-store experience, right? How to enhance this, right? So marketing team, they sit and they analyze with all this data. Right? So this is again the focus on experience, and again increasing automation part. Investment in technology that increase automation in supply chain, that is warehouse robots. In the previous slide, I mentioned about this warehouse robots, like then fulfillment drones in Japan, and even in Singapore also. Like I've seen company, like they already started this shipping logistic part in my the last mile delivery, right, with the help of drones in Singapore also. Like then again in store pick up and walk out, like that also you can do that. So the countries like Singapore, in fact in Malaysia, they have started this fulfillment, the drones part, supply chain, the warehouse, robots, Japan, US, they already started this. Like, so whatever we see in the foreign countries, obviously India adapt the same thing. That's how our culture is, right? So obviously Middle East is again, they're also following the same trend. And I've seen, like companies over there, like there is a company in Kuwait, Al Shaya. They also started this warehouse robots actually. Like, so this is what exactly it is actually increased to improve the efficiency. Like, then again, stores will also evolve. Like physical store will evolve to the become real world stars of retailers, customer experience strategies, focusing on complementing online services that create a differentiation with the respective competitors. See, this is this particular line is very important for you all. We all have seen the traditional life, that is normally you've seen people, the buying patterns earlier, like until unless we not touch the item, we don't trust. This is how the typical Asian mentality actually, like, even I've today also, if someone wants to buy something, he wants to go to the store first. But again, because of the COVID and all these things, like uh, mostly users, they are moving to the online space. But the question is it the end of the retail store, physical store? Absolutely not, right? It is not, because in the last 3 4 months, after lockdown, after this, like again the store was open. We have seen the malls also started opening, like even the big malls like Phoenix Mall, there are other Inox and all, so they also started opening. So they, what they are doing actually, they are also trying to digitalize their segment. So next time when you go to mall, the big mall, like I'm sure when you come to Mumbai or Bangalore or Delhi, there are big cities, like when you go to the mall, so you will see that, like there is a big catalog over there in the entry itself, like so you will see whatever you want to buy or purchase, or if you want a direction or something, you will see a big catalog over there. It will give you the guide. So it's a guidebook is there, right, with the help of that. Like so, what they are doing, so they are actually trying to give you a proper experience, right? And end of the day, whatever you want to purchase, also, like they will give a right direction also. Right? So it's all about, like it's all about, like stores also trying to digitalize their segment. So I think I'm slightly uh, fast. So I have 5-10 minutes, like So I will cover this slide once again, like and then after that we'll quickly move to the question answer. So see this the experience part I was talking about, and this retail analytics part. This two particular thing I just want to stress 5 minutes time. See, as I was said, because this is a very important trend, and especially uh, sentiment analysis, customer retention, purchase intent, inventory prediction, So, with the help of inventory prediction, right? So you will not get a problem in terms of the when the demands comes. You will know the right predictions is there and forecasting is there. With the help of that, you will not face a demand and supply problem. In Indian industry, even in anywhere, there is it's a big problem is that demand and supply. It is a chicken and egg issue. So retail analytics with the help of machine learning, right? This inventory prediction will a lot of companies they have already started adapting, and which actually minimize this supply and demand issue. Then product content. So content plays a very vital role. If you do not have the right content, it decrease the searchability of your product. If you do not have a right content, it will decrease the searchability and the visibility of your product. So right content is very important, right? So obviously, retail companies they are also focusing more into an SEO enriched content, right? So with the help of that, they also doing this online as well. But again, in-store experience also they do, right? If you go to any apparel store, maybe Aditya Birla retail, let's say Louis Phillips, if you visit any store, you will see that they have catalogs, and the catalog itself there is a nice specification, feature bullets, product descriptions also there, right? So it about what exactly it is. It is all about the content part, right? So they are focusing more into on that also, right? Then again, I talked about the retention part. Purchase intent is a very important thing. So typically, Indian buyers, the consumers, they have a tendency. They always look for a discount. Oh, this is a holiday season. I should go and buy, right? They always look for a Diwali sales. They always look for a Christmas, Black Friday, Monday, Cyber Friday. A lot of this all things because this is all online part. Now, retail companies also starting doing all these things. They are all coming with a lot of winter season. You will see that winter sale, summer sale, some all sort of things. So how they will know what sort of consumer or user they should inform, right? Via email, via WhatsApp, via other channels also. Obviously, with the help of analytics, they know who is the right user on consumer, right? So that they normally message in the right time. Okay, so we have a new stocks, right? Why not you come and check? Or maybe what we can do, we'll share you some samples to you on your WhatsApp. You can just have a look, or if required, I will come to your house, right? And you just keep it with yourself like 2 or 3 days. Then if it is not good, you can return that. So this is again everything is evolving. As I said, world has changed, right? Salespeople, retail salespeople, they are coming to your house. They are, showing you the catalogs, showing you the product, right? And you can do the try and fit, and you can even. I've seen the furniture companies also they have started doing this, right? So this purchase intent is that I should know the retail company. They should know that what is the best time to knock the door, right? So again, this is the purchase intent. I explained you guys properly because this is a very important use case, I thought to spend time on this, And now, when it comes to the AR, VR application, gamification, mobile device, and all, see, these are all the, it's very high buzzwords, and mostly in India, there are few companies only they started using, but chatbot, right, and the social media channels they are already adapting. I've seen companies like Spencer in India, right, the big large retailers like Shopper Stops and all, they already started using chatbot. They're using social media channels, and again the mobile devices in-store sales app they already have, but when it comes to the augmented reality and the virtual reality applications, I think I mean it's trend is not started here because I mean very few companies they actually started. But again, if you go to developed countries, so they have already started. The reason why, because India still because it's very difficult to do the implementations and all. It's not so easy actually. So, but again, I, I can see that next 5-10 years, the day will come that you don't need to go to the store and purchase. You can use your device, this virtual reality, this AR VR type sort of and you just feel that you are very much into the store. So I think in the next 4-5 years you will see, because COVID anyway it's there with us for the next 10 years. So now this omni-channel retail part, I've covered the buy online and pick up at store. The virtual try-on is something which mostly the jewelry companies, then again the companies like apparel, right? they already started this. In fact, Lenskart, if you see that, they also started doing this. I've seen during the COVID times, their shop was closed, so their salespeople they normally ping me on WhatsApp. All right, so we have new item. Why not you check your eye? I will send the doctors. So what exactly this is? This is it's more about the evolution. So in order to go to store, everything is coming to your house and you can do and test it. Then again, this exchange anywhere services I've explained broadly to you guys. This is a very interesting thing, and now mostly the apparel, the fashion segment, companies they already started doing this. But there are a lot of pros and cons are there. But segment like jewelry, they are getting a nice results. I've given an example of Joy Lucas and Kalyan Jewelers and all. In fact, Aura Jewelers also so they already started doing this kind of trend. Right. Now, see, I just want to spend time on the increasing automation part. This is supply chain warehouse robots. So I've seen companies like Walmart, they already adapted this thing, I think 4-5 years back, and because of that, there are a lot of job cuts, and because it is actually to reduce the human intervention. So robots, they're actually taking the place of humans. But again, end of the day, it will actually improve your efficiency and will increase the profitability of the companies, right? So that's the reason, large retailers they are already adapted, especially in US, the big companies, the big retailers, they are already started doing this, and before COVID itself. Now, by looking at this, in Middle East, the emerging countries like Middle East and Southeast Asia also started adapting this. So fulfillment, this drone is something which is very, very new. And again, Singapore, as I mentioned, they started this and in-store pick up and walk out. This is again the part of retail omni-channel, right? So this is the future. And I think broadly, I've explained this, how the world would be and how the retail segment is transforming, and if the company is not doing this transformation in the next 1 year, they will face a lot of challenges. and the classical example of Raymond, right? So they are very poor in transformation part, right? But that is the reason, like, they shut down a lot of stores, like, they are not adapting the new technology, so they do not have a fund also. However, the company is so big. The Raymond is a classical example. They are not adapting, they are not accepting the there are a lot of companies out there. It's not, they're not able to adapt because they do not have a big pocket. So it's, as I said, like, it's very easy to say, like, retail transformation, right? But there are a lot of pros and cons are there, and it's, the journey is not that easy, right? You have a right talent, you have a right person, you have a right digital advisor, right? You should have a right transformation leader, right? Consulting leader in house, who will guide, who will sketch, right? And do the roadmap, right? And this is a retail roadmap, right? Then only it is possible. Otherwise, it is not at all possible. So obviously, in India, I've seen people are moving to the outside. Uh, at one level, like, I've seen people moving to Middle East and all. They are giving gyans over there, like, right. But the brain is actually missing here in India, right? So that is one of the reason, like, there is a struggle, right? I've seen, like, obviously from IIM and IIT, people also, like, after a certain time they are moving there, and they're using their brains over there in outside India. But end of the day, India needs the brain, right? And we have a capability and expertise, and I'm sure, like, the people who are listening to me in this, like, I want to give a very strong message here, like, India is the future. I repeat, India is the future. In the next 10 years, India will be the future. Like, everything you will get it here itself. Like, so, my friends, like, I've seen, like, I've been in almost more than 20 plus countries. Like, traveled across the globe. Like, I've met a lot of big tycoons. Like, I work with the biggest, largest retailers across the globe. Like, and I have seen this industry changes and everything. I mean, during my decade itself, like, right? And I've seen Middle East and again Southeast Asia, how they are emerging, like, but again, as I said, like, there are a lot more you can see, and this is the trend, this is the future, as I mentioned, right? So I think the time is for the question answer, like, so guys, if you have any questions, you can unmute yourself and you can ask.
Thank you, sir, for your session. Okay. Student can raise their hand and ask a question. Okay, Srishti, you can go.
Thank you, sir. First of all, it was very interesting listening to you. Sir, as we know, one of the future aspects is online to offline marketing. So as a strategist, how do I marry, say, social media or online marketing with offline sales, like on-ground sales?
Okay. Can you repeat your question? I'm sorry, like, I missed your last few seconds.
Sir, okay, so to giving it very short, following online to offline strategy as a strategist, how do I marry online marketing with offline sales?
Okay. Right. So your question is that, like, your question is more about, like, with the help of offline data, right? And how you will use this offline data into online. Is that your question?
Yes, sir. My question is, I'm marketing online, and that I want to achieve offline sales.
No, I'm still not clear, like. Let's try once again, like, I'm still not able to understand your question properly.
Sir, I'm talking about online to offline marketing strategies. So as a strategist, how do I match online marketing to achieve offline sales?
See, online marketing, when it comes to the online marketing, there are a lot of factors are there, right? So you need to understand the digital marketing part first, right? And when it comes to the digital marketing, there are it's a huge ocean, right? So first of all, your name is Srishti, right? So you need to understand the dynamics of offline sale, because offline sales work in a different fashion and online sales work in a different fashion. Those are two different boats. You cannot use and sync both the things, because their strategy, their the buying behavior, their patterns, the way online works, and it is slightly different in offline. So, I mean, in some cases you can sync up, in some cases you cannot. I will give a very straight example to you. Like, see, when you shop online, let's say, like, when you use any marketplace or any, let's say, just an example, like, maybe you are using Amazon or all, right? Or let's say if you're using Shopperstop site, right? When you buy something, right, your experience is slightly different over there, but when you go to the store, your experience is slightly different, right? So you cannot sync both the data because their patterns are different. However, customer is same, right, but their patterns are different. You cannot able to sync that. So their strategy would be different. Like, that is the reason, like, you will not see any retail experience person who is actually helping or digitalizing the online part, because their life is different and online life is different. So it's a thin line is there, right?
That answers my question. Thank you, sir.
Anyone
Sayyid, you
else?
can go next.
Yes, good evening, sir. Question was that your rich experience handling various geographies worldwide. So, what variance in digital retail trends do you find across the nations? And also, where does India relatively stand in different areas? For example, what are the areas where India is leading, and what are the areas where India is lagging? What we can do to keep up with the trends?
Right. So let me understand your question, Sayed. Your name is Sayed, right? So you said, like, where India is at the moment we're standing in terms of segments you're talking about.
Adopting digital trends, sir.
Okay. See, as I said, like, in one of my slide, see, one is that when it comes to the retail part, right? Now, the mobile app, right? And again, your the retail analytics part, right? Right? So analytics and again omni-channel. This is the main thing, like, which mostly people are using it, right? I'm talking about India itself. So omni-channel part is something mostly all the big and in fact the mid-sized retailers, whether in Asia Pacific or India itself, like, they are using it. Why? Because the question is why? Because everyone is looking for a faster delivery, fast experience. Customer experience should be like, at least you know but the expectations are high, right? So that is the reason, like, we will see the larger number of implementation is happening, especially in the omni channel part, right? The omni channel, whether it is online or whether it is offline, right? So physical store, omni-channel digitalization is also happening, and even in the online space also. So to answer your question, Sayed, like, analytics and the omni-channel part, which is actually I've seen and I can see that, like, this is what the trend it is like, because everybody, even in the Indian users also, like, because of the COVID, because of the changes, in fact the world has changed, right? So everybody is looking for a faster delivery and direct to consumer, D2C. This is a new trend, like, how I will get the thing faster, right? Okay, like, sitting at home, and if you want the delivery has to be in the next 30 minutes. This is what the expectation of the Indian users, not even Indian users, like, even the Asians. So obviously to match this kind of expectation, so that is the reason retailers, they are started doing this omni channel implementation. Omni channel implementation with the help of analytics, right? And as I said, like, the predictive analytics, and again, your sentimental analysis, like, data analytics, like, so this is the two trends are vital in India.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, Harsh, you can go next.
Good evening, sir. So thank you for sharing your words of wisdom with us. Sir, I wanted to ask that earlier we used to have offline retail which would sell things, and then once online things came along, then it became about showrooming. So offline retail channels became about product experience. So going ahead, as you had talked about AR and virtual try-ons, and furthermore, as the younger generation today goes on to become the more potential customers in say next decade, do you see that the core benefits that we have right now around retail offline channel completely eroding, or the thing like it will come to an end?
Harsh, your name, right? So I'm slightly not able to understand your question. Like, when if you
Yes, sir.
repeat once again. Yeah.
Yes, sir. So the concern that I had was that once the present generation of customers still like to try on things on the offline world. So offline stores still offer a core value that people can go and experience the product. But now once
Correct.
the younger generation becomes older, say in the next decade, the younger generation is much entrenched with the online digital medium. So what
Right.
happens is that they will trust the digital experience that AR, VR will offer to a much higher degree. And for them, maybe the value that offline stores hold now won't exist. So in that case, what is the core benefit that offline retail stores can develop for themselves in this technologically changing world over the next decade, or else they might get wiped out?
No, not wiped out. See, struggle is there, Harsh. It's a very important question you have asked. Like, there is a huge struggle, and as I said, like, the journey is not so easy, right? See, there are two things. One is like, the young generation, and there is a one more trend is that the people who are still believe that yes, I should go to the store. Like, so see, as I said, like, retail, again, even in the last line also I said, like, with the help of omni channel, right, there are multiple ways to attract. See, the line which I'm talking about, customer experience, right? So customer experience will not see whether you are you are below 18, or whether you are above 18, or whether you are 50 years. Customer experience, there are multiple channels are there to enhance these experiences. And I'm not talking about AR VR. See, AR VR, it's like, it's a in India, it will take another 5-10 years to adapt, right? Right now there are multiple options are there to hold the customers. Like, now typically the retail companies, right, what they see is, because based on their data, golden records, they sees the patterns, they see their the customers their buying patterns, right? And based on that, they always come with the strategies, the marketing strategies, and their new items, the launches, like, and that's how they are evolving. So it is not completely they will wiped out, like, because when uh, when technology day by day, new things are coming, right? And to ensure that what young generation is looking for, they always come with that kind of trend. So to answer your question, Harsh, like, retail companies, especially the companies, they knows that in the next 4 5 year or the next 3 year, they have a complete digital roadmap. This kind of companies, they already have there in the kitty that how to target young generation, and how to target the people who are above, like, above 30 years and all, right? And they already have their strategies up. And those strategies are depend on the technology, depend on the experiences. And experience, I explained, like, there are multiple way to you know to connect, right? So this connecting part is very important. And this is how they can save. I mean, see, in the next 10 years you will see a lot of viruses will come, right? That doesn't mean that all the retail company they will shut down. Physical store will be always there, but physical store, they are actually transforming their in-store experiences. You will see in the next 4 or 5 years, when you go to any retail store, you will not feel that you are actually sitting in store. You will feel that you are sitting in some airport actually. What is that? It is experience. You will not feel that, oh, I'm sitting in some shopper stop. You will see that, oh, you are actually sitting in the airport. Like, you will get a snack, you will get a children's kid, everything. So in-store experiences, they will enhance, right? So the experts, industry experts who are actually sitting, like, they already have a roadmap for the next 4 or 5 years to save the retail part, like, and as I said, right, there are multiple ways to connect with the people. This connection will only happen when the in-store experience will change. And when the in-store experience will change, then automatically they will know, oh, this is the young generation, this is the old generation, and because this is the patterns, right? And the pattern which will come from the analytics. So it's a mixture of technology. All the experts they have their in their roadmap. Right? I hope I answered your question properly.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I got the gist. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, Harshit, you can go next.
Good evening, sir. Very good evening, sir. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, you are. Your name is Harshit. Yes, yeah.
So, sir, my question is, like, many industries are like going from offline to online e-commerce side. So in the e-commerce, like, we are adding the extra packaging in for the customers. So like and even like sometimes the companies tend to do unnecessary extra efforts. So do we think of the sustainability part, like this extra means the waste we will be creating in all things? Like, do the industries are currently thinking from that point of view also, not just attracting the customers?
Again, I'm not able to understand your question properly. Like, can you
Like,
repeat it? Yeah.
for example, like in e-commerce industries, like if we buy from the local store, we will just get a one packing, or like, for example, if you buy a one mobile, we will get a one mobile in a box. But if you buy same product on the online, you will get a packaging of the mobile. It's from the company itself, and the secondary packaging will be done by the e-commerce website. So this is the like extra material waste is going on, and it is just
It is just a.
means it is just from one example, but like in the digital technology also, like companies are doing extra, means they are providing extra without thinking it is necessary or not, just
Right.
to
Okay. Okay. So
just
okay. Okay. So, all right. So there are two things, two part, Harshit. One part you were talking about that the e-commerce companies, why they are spending too much money on the packaging part, right? Second question, you were saying, like, whether it is important to do this or whether it is necessary to do this, or well, like, spending too much money on the packaging part, right? But in retail, like, as per you, like, they are not spending that much. I hope this is what your question, correct?
yes, sir.
Right. See, again, I think when I think the first lady Srishti was there. Like, in fact, I said, see, retail journey and online journey. See, online and offline both they work in a different way. You cannot sync their cycles. Online, the way online works, it's a different pattern, and the way digital, so the way your physical offline store works, it's a different pattern. Now, here, when it comes to the online, the touch and feel is not there, right? So to improve that touch and feel, that experience, again, the word experience is coming. They are spending a lot money on that, on your beautification of that product. Like, you will see, nice packaging and all these things, right? and this is typically comes from the brands itself, like, right? Because normally when you purchase anything from marketplace, you will not see packaging. Remember this thing. If you buy anything from marketplace, you will not see any packaging sort of. But if you buy anything from the online retail store, right, you will see, because the brand is spending money, right? Okay,
Yes.
so their pattern is different. Okay, when it comes to the physical store, the obviously someone is walking to your store, and the end of the day, like, to again, they are also spending money on the this packaging. It is not, they are not, right? See, as I said, it depends, retailers to retailers. It depends, like, companies to companies, right? If you not make your customer happy, they will not come back to you. How they will make the customer happy? There are various areas are there, like, okay. So one of the area is the packaging part. To I'll give you an example that Ferns and Petal, it's a flower company, right? You will see how they package. If you go to the store also, they will do the same packaging. If you buy anything from online, they will do the same packaging, because their thing is that, like, it is a gift shop. Okay, so when you go to any gift categories, right? Okay, so their main point is that, like, they need to attract the customer with the packaging part, right? So to answer your question, Harshit, like, as again, uh, it's not that it's unnecessary item. It is like in a depend category wise. Okay, so let's say tomorrow if you purchase any Apple phone, right, and if you go to any Flipkart store, okay, so Flipkart is not giving you any special packaging, because Apple itself, the cover of Apple is itself, like, so nice, you will feel, oh wow, right? Right. So so that is the reason I'm saying, like, it depends on companies to company. Online journey, buying journey, experiences is completely different, and the physical is completely different. You cannot sing both the things. That is the reason, Sri, I answered the same thing to Srishti as well. Like, their marketing strategy is completely different. Their the way of working is completely different. Both are in a different ship, right? But users may be same. Like, okay. I hope I answered your question properly, Harshit.
Yes, sir. That answers my question. Thank you very much, sir.
So, sir, we don't have any question anymore.
Sorry.
So we don't have any question now. So thank you.
Okay, so thank you so much, everyone. Thanks for joining, and wish you a very great evening and happy New Year to everyone. Thank you.
Same to you, sir. Sir, I will share the link, sir. You can join that night. Thank you, sir. Okay, guys, you can leave now.